Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a pretty fun video. So since I just graduated college and I'm now a post-grad, I figured it would be kind of fun to give some of my tips for college and some of my advice on how to make the most of your experience, especially for people who are freshmen or maybe just like starting out. So I have 10 things or like pieces of advice that I wish I had going into college. And I do feel like some of these things you do hear before you like go into college, but you don't really think anything of it. But these are just some things that I wish I thought about more and I wish I actually like took into consideration my freshman year. I had a very bad freshman year of college. And then sophomore, junior, senior were all some of the best years ever. So I feel like I have a pretty good insight onto what improved your college experience. So yeah, coming from someone who had an awful first year, these are things that I wish I did that I ended up doing later on, but I wish I did them my freshman year to make the most of that year as well. So the first one is to, obviously, this one's a pretty obvious one, get yourself involved. But when I say get yourself involved, I don't mean overwhelm yourself. Like make sure that you can still adjust to college life, that you can adjust to living with a roommate if you have one, that you can adjust to being away from home if you're like living on campus. If you're not involved, you're not really going to meet many people. I didn't do anything my freshman year. The only thing I did was band, and those are literally the only people that I knew the whole year were the people that I twirled with. However, later on in my college time, I joined a lot of clubs. I got super involved and I met like a lot of people through that. So just find something that interests you. I'm telling you, colleges have so many clubs. They have clubs for everything. You can start a club for whatever you want, pretty much. There's always ways to get involved. And I feel like sometimes in high school, like getting involved in certain things can seem like weird almost, but like in college, it's not like that. Like it's super common to get involved in a bunch of things. Also, I don't know how it is at every college, but at my college, most of the stuff that like I was involved in, I didn't have to go to every single week. It was kind of like however fit into my schedule. So it made it a lot easier to kind of do everything. But seriously, get involved. I know it may seem scary, especially if you're a freshman, but college is so different than high school. So getting involved will help you a lot. Number 2, things are only embarrassing if you let them be. And I think this is also coming from the mindset that you have in high school. In high school, I feel like a lot of things are like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Like, I would never do that. Once again, college is not like that. There's not really like that crazy, like the crazy cliques and everything. So not really much is embarrassing. Like, the only way things are going to be embarrassing is if like you yourself make them that way. So that kind of ties into getting involved, like doing things that you want, not worrying about if it's embarrassing or not, because it's not in college. If it was in high school, it's probably not in college. Yeah, so just don't be afraid to do things because like you're embarrassed or something, because literally, and this is honestly a motto that you can take with you like your whole life, is things are only embarrassing if you let them be. As someone who used to think everything was embarrassing, trust, it helps. Okay, number 3 is everyone's trying to meet people. So introducing yourself can seem a little less scary. Once again, especially if you're a freshman, I can almost guarantee you that when you're moving into your dorm, everyone on that floor is willing to meet people. That's kind of the whole point of college. You're excited to meet people. So introducing yourself, or maybe even just sending like a chat onto the like, I don't know, group chat you have for your floor can be really helpful. I remember my freshman year, I had a whole roommate thing. My first roommate moved out. She left some of the stuff in the fridge and I didn't want it. So I sent it to the group chat, and like, I'm not kidding. There were like 2 things in the fridge I was getting rid of, and I think 7 people were in my room debating who was going to get it. And then we all had like a whole conversation. So like, don't be afraid to talk to people, especially if you're a freshman, because everyone is trying to meet people and they wish people would come talk to them. So this is like also like, don't be scared to talk to people, which I feel like is a crazy thing to say, but like truly, like this is one of the only times where like everyone around you is like so eager to meet people, but everyone's probably a little scared to do it. So just kind of breaking that ice will help a lot. And the people from my freshman year dorm, am I like friends with them like best friends with them. No, but I'm glad that I like got to know them. I do still follow like a lot of them on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, don't be afraid to talk to people. Even in your classes, don't be afraid to talk to people. Like maybe the person next to you. I still remember my freshman year, one of the people sitting next to me, I was having a whole conversation, and then they ended up becoming one of my really good friends my senior year. So like it all kind of comes full circle. Number 4, if you are, this is really for like any grade, I guess, but I think this is something that incoming people don't think about as often as they should. But like if you're going out, please just stay safe, especially like if you are intoxicated. Make sure that you're not going anywhere by yourself. Even though a college campus can seem super safe, you still never know. So I guess just be aware of your surroundings, be safe, be with people that you trust. There's been a few times where I've been like downtown and there's like people by themselves and they look like they're like not doing well, and like you don't want to be the one in that situation. So surround yourself with the right people, especially if you know that you're gonna be like going out or something. Just be safe. Number 5 is don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. This is honestly another great opportunity because you're surrounded by people who don't know you to become who you like really want to be, honestly, which kind of sounds cheesy, but like if there's something that you wanted to fix about yourself, now's the time to do it because like I said, none of these people know who you are. They don't have any perceptions of you before college. So it's the perfect time to kind of grow, honestly. That's the best way to put it. It's a great time to grow and become the person that you want to be because you don't have anyone holding you back from your past. You might know a few people going into college. I only knew like a few people coming from my high school, but like, you know, really no one knew me. So it's a great time to meet people, become who you want to be, and grow. Number 6 is if you have high expectations for your freshman year and you do not meet them, do not get discouraged. I was definitely one of those people. I had a lot of things. I was like, oh, college is going to be so amazing. And then it ended up not being anything like that. So if college doesn't meet your expectations, don't completely give up on it yet. I will say my freshman year did not meet my expectations, but my sophomore year surpassed them. So it's all about just, and this is also going to go hand in hand with the first one. The more involved you are, the more you're going to get out of it. But if it doesn't meet your expectations at first, it's okay. Freshman year can be very different, and I will say it does just continue to get better. So don't get discouraged and don't be afraid to go back for your second semester and give it another try because that was the best thing I did. Also, I mean, I loved my major and my degree. So that was another reason that I kept going, but like make sure that like you're not feeling super discouraged if it's not meeting your standards right away. Number 7 is you get as much out of your classes as you put into them. You're paying to be there. You're taking these classes for yourself to get your degree. Some professors are going to be very strict about being there and getting things done. Some professors don't care. So you could miss every single class. But like I said, you're paying for it. So if you really want to get the most out of your classes, you have to be the one putting effort into them. It is very different than high school in that sense. So, you know, if there's one day where you're like, I would benefit from way more sleep instead of going to this class, maybe that's what you have to do. But if you're like, oh, I'm not doing good in this class, I need to make sure I'm going to all the lectures, that's on you. It's not really, the professors don't really hold you accountable like directly. So it's all going to be kind of on you to hold yourself accountable for classes and get the most out of them. Number 8 is find spaces that are not your dorm room to do homework. I think 1, this helps you get used to being on campus. 2, it gives you a separate space for work and it keeps you out of your dorm room, especially if you have like, you know, a small dorm, 2 people to a room. It gives you and your roommate some space, which is good, but also, like I said, it can give you a better mindset and help you be more productive if you're not in the space that you live to do your homework. My dorm hall had like places downstairs where I did a lot of homework my freshman year. The library, there's always just like a ton of places to do homework, and I feel like finding a few spots that really work for you are very beneficial. I never liked doing homework in my dorm, even at my desk, like in my dorm room, because I just felt so unproductive because everything that I lived with was around me, and it's like, well, I could just do that instead. So I recommend finding some places on campus to do homework that are not your dorm for that reason. Number 9 is use your resources. This may not be the case for every college, but most colleges have very advanced technology for all of their majors. This is going to be one of the only times that you have access to so many different items, whether it's printing, whether it's the gym, whether it's mental health, whether it's the library. There's so many things on campus that you have access to. I mean, you're technically paying for it all, so use them. You know, like there's so many things that you get off a college campus that you aren't going to get when you're graduated. So just make sure that you're using your resources, get your money's worth. You know, there's so many different things on a campus. And I know I didn't even use half the stuff that I could have, but I wish I did because, like I said, you're paying for it, so you might as well use it. And number 10 is don't hold yourself back and have fun. College was honestly such a rewarding experience. You change a lot, you learn a lot about yourself, and there's so much to it. It's really, really exciting because you're around so many people who are witnessing and experience the same moment of their life. So it's a really exciting experience. Don't hold yourself back. Meet people and just honestly have fun, because I wish I was back at campus this semester. And that was the video this week. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe because I post every Friday at 3. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more content. Bye!